numbers just keep growing of dead. You heard him say the latest they have is 60 or so. There are approximately 100 hostages in this concert hall. You've had multiple attacks at the soccer stadium, hand grenades including, at a restaurant, at a concert hall, potentially a shopping mall. You know, it's interesting. Over the years, I've pointed out, and many have, these are the soft spots. Sports stadiums, restaurants, shopping malls, and so forth and so on. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I am so sick and tired of politicians telling us that we can't control our border, we can't determine who's coming into this country. I'm so sick of these ethnic front groups like CARE and Muslim Brotherhood associated groups in this country, pretending to be civil rights groups and using our laws against us, using our freedom against us. I'm so sick of it. When the FBI director says he's got an investigation in all 50 states related to potential Islamic terrorism and people yawn and roll their eyes. Political correctness in the face of this war? France is at war. France is under attack. We're all at war. And for those of you who say, why are we going over there? Why do we have to do anything? How much more evidence do you need? What's going on in France is going to happen here. I truly believe it. I cringe even when I say it, but I know it will. We're just an easy hit. We're an easy target. We don't secure the border. We coddle people who come here illegally. We have a president who wants to bring in tens of thousands of people from Syria. We can't even vet them. We don't know their backgrounds. It doesn't mean everyone's a terrorist. It could be that 20 of them are terrorists. That's enough. They slaughter people. That's what terrorists do. And our country has an obligation. Our government has an obligation to protect us. Europe is dying. Europe is dying in front of your eyes. Europe has been invaded. I say invaded. It's not really invaded when hundreds of thousands of people are welcomed. They have no idea who's coming into their countries. And the small, old Eastern European countries, Hungary, among others, saying no, no, no. Sweden has been swamped. I mean, communities in our own country. Now, you can't have this. You can't have sovereignty. You can't have security. You can't have a rule of law. You can't have a free country if you do not secure your border, ladies and gentlemen. I am sick and tired of being lectured by the left, being lectured by Republicans, being lectured by morons on TV. I am tired of it. It doesn't mean we're anti-anybody. It means we are pro-us. This is common sense. This is what we call reason. And I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell you what goes through my mind, and I'll bet it goes through a lot of your minds. Thank God for the Second Amendment. Thank God for the Second Amendment, or we'd be Europe. We'd all be disarmed. You know, Obama and Hillary, all the Democrats, most of the Republicans, there would be no NRA. There'd be none of those groups trying to protect us. Thank God for the Founding Fathers and the framers of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Thank God, because as you see this going on, these poor people who were slaughtered, going to a sporting event or a restaurant or a concert or potentially a shopping mall, slaughtered as they stand there by these animals, by these barbarians. And none of them are armed. None of them. Watching, late at night, in the morning, 12 a.m. in Paris, watching as they bring the bodies out, one after another, after another, after another. All these people did on a Friday night is try to enjoy their lives. They weren't bothering anybody. They weren't harming anybody. We are the targets, ladies and gentlemen. We, the people. Not even our government. Not even our military. We, the people, are the target. The civilians, the innocent civilians, are the target. Because we're an easy target. Reuters reporting at least 40 dead, 60 wounded. You heard Westwood One reporting that 60 dead. You've got hostages, as you heard Steve Kassenbaum reporting, begging the police to storm the concert hall, which tells me something's going on in that concert hall. How much more are we going to put up with this? I cannot vote for a candidate who is soft on immigration. I cannot vote for a candidate who is soft on national security in our military. I cannot and I will not. If we don't have candidates who are going to step up and take on this enemy, well, this enemy grows and grows and grows, then what are we? Then who are we? What are we leaving our children and our grandchildren? These are obviously coordinated attacks. They're obviously terrorists. They're obviously Islamo-Nazis. We know what they are. We know what they are. And why the PC all the time? Why the PC? If we had a country that functioned, the government would immediately start controlling the borders. They always talk about a war on poverty or we need to build our infrastructure. They never talk about, all right, let's husband our resources and secure our borders immediately. Then we're told if we believe that we're not Americans or that's not our history. If we had a federal government that was doing more than destroying this country, it would take a leadership role. The president would take a leadership role. He'd call in every governor of every state, Republican or Democrat, and he would tell them, we are going to coordinate. We want to coordinate with your towns and your cities. We are going to secure our borders and secure the interior of the country. No, I don't mean a police state. I mean enforce our immigration laws. For once. Enough politics. Enough. Enough with the Democrats just trying to get votes as they destroy our country. Enough with the Republicans pandering. They're concerned about the demographics just to get the votes. Enough of these ethnic front groups. Enough excuses. How many more innocent people are going to be slaughtered because of terrorism? 9/11 should have been the final straw, but apparently it's not. Kalashnikovs, grenades, you name it. Suicide bomber, I read in one of these cases. All attacking Paris, all coordinated. Soccer stadium, a restaurant, a concert hall, maybe even a shopping center. At least 40 dead. I'm sure there's more. Innocent people murdered as they sit there. Think of your own life. It's Friday night. The West Coast, it's Friday evening, turning into night. Think about going into a restaurant or a sporting event. Think about going into a concert hall or shopping mall. All gun-free zones except for the enemy. Except for the enemy! Think about how these politicians in both parties are letting us down. Think about how they refuse to secure our border. Somehow it's become a civil right for foreigners to come into this country, even if we can't vet them, even from the Middle East, even from war-torn Syria. Ladies and gentlemen, that's national suicide. It's also national insanity. I cannot vote for any candidate who is soft on immigration, because that's anti-American. That's anti-American history. I cannot vote for any candidate who is soft on national security and building up our military, because that's anti-American in the face of this enemy. And it's not just this enemy, there are others. Security beefed up at the United States Capitol. Well, guess what? There's security beefed up at the Levin household tonight, too, Mr. Producer. Because I believe in the Second Amendment, too. I'll be right back.